over, let it go. 52 times a year, the week is done and over with before you know.
Thank you very much indeed. Hello, good evening and welcome. I am David Frost and this is That Was the Week That Was. Finally, after 60 years, the third series has finally arrived. After the first two series were cruelly cancelled by the BBC and the then Tory government under Harold Macmillan. The Manchester Evening News this week showed us a Swiss chalet that was shipped to the UK and rebuilt here in 1862, which is now on sale for £3.5 million. Sounds like the ideal house for County Lines drug dealers to cuckoo in. Rishi Sunak had a cunning plan this week when he said we can lure foreign firms even with a corporation tax rise in the budget. We at TWTWTW say, is lure the right phrase to use? What about ask, attract, etc.? Lure sounds like we're doing something wrong and bribery and corruption are involved. However, it probably is. The Times is still living in a world where Britannia ruled the world. The Flying Scotsman, it said, may one day run on coffee grounds. In that case, how fast does it go on a mug of British Rail tea and a bacon butty? We were sad to hear that a dad had used a moose antler to kill a 77-year-old man stalking his daughter. We sadly have to inform the killer that it was only Father Christmas trying to deliver his presents. The royals were rarely out of the news. We learned that Prince Andrew was bewildered, bothered and bemused that he has yet to receive his inheritance from the late Queen. What's Andrew moaning about, we say? He did inherit his great-uncle Lord Batten's genes for paedophilia, after all. The Mail lectured everybody by saying primary schools should teach boys what is unacceptable behaviour as part of a whole society approach to tackle misogyny. Alternatively, the police should teach boy policemen what is unacceptable behaviour as part of another whole society approach to also tackle misogyny. The government's war against social media continues. The government does not rule out full TikTok ban over security risks, warned the Metro. However, TikTok said if it does get banned, it will be the first to let you know. The Manchester Evening News reported about a kids' clothing boss who slammed touchy snowflakes, offended by their baby grow design featuring fake tan, false eyelashes and lip filler. The baby grow red, when do I get a fake tan, false eyelashes and lip filler, mummy? Well, the answer is when you're old enough not to swallow the eyelashes, eat the lip filler and lick the fake tan. In America, prospective President Ron DeSantis said protecting Ukraine is not a key US interest. He went on, but protecting Republicans like Donald Trump from social rules and laws is. During the whole of the week, Rishi Sunak's scrambled mind hardly stopped. The iNews challenged him and said the Stop the Boats campaign is straight out of the Trump playbook. What next for Trump's playbook? Cruella Braverman building a wall in the middle of the channel? The Mail wrote, what a mug. Liz Truss makes a comeback as a 4-inch Toby jug that will be sold at the House of Commons shop. However, 4 inches is rather small, but not as small as the Toby in America, where there's a 2-inch button mushroom Toby jug of Donald Trump. Good news in the Mirror. Britain could double its number of nuclear subs under a new pact with the US and Australia. So that's twice as many nuclear submarines we can't possibly use. Once again, it was the Rishi. He said he is concerned by the behaviour of China and declared Britain is back. Yes, the flag-waving, sabre-rattling, Tory National Front racists, jingoists, crooks and conmen are back, hiding behind America. News from the land of the sheep in Norfolk says the Queen of Knitting has knitted a 6-foot Buckingham Palace out of wool. Rumour has it that Prince Andrew has found somewhere to live at last. We learned for the first time this week about Jeremy Clarkson, the King of the Libertarians' secret grand tour name for Richard Hammond, and it isn't hamster. He said, "Whenever I'm filming the grand tour, I always think of James May as Eel, Richard Hammond as Piglet, and myself as a bit of a poo." The Daily Mail reported about rapping hamsters and classical cats, how pets have different musical tastes. More than a third of dogs go bow wow for rock, while 30% of cats love classical tunes. And more than 40% of hamsters enjoy rap. But obviously 100% of rabbits like hip-hop. In some letters this week, Donald Trump said the Queen, Diana and Oprah Winfrey kissed his ass. Good news for those of you who are still seeking the origins of COVID, AIDS and monkeypox. Most of you will know by now about the cocaine bear. But now we have the cocaine cat, who was rehabbing at a zoo but has finally moved to a feline ambassador program. The ambassador program, eh? Well, let's hope the cocaine cat and the ambassador both like Ferrero Rocher. In the Huffington Post, Carol Vorderman set the record straight over claims she cozied up to Matt Hancock at the Cheltenham Festival. There are thousands of people at Cheltenham. What are the chances of two people who know one another meeting in the royal box? Do the maths, Carol. A former BBC governor said this week, sack Gary Lineker and replace him with a woman at half the price. In these days of inequality, I think you could get a woman for the minimum wage if you tried hard enough, mate. The Mail showed us a woman stepping into a puddle and then plunged into a 10-foot deep hole filled with sewage after a night out, which in Watford passes as a night out dirty dancing. An article in The Guardian revealed a gargantuan Chinese fossil, 70 tons in weight, with a 15-metre neck. Thank God I've never seen one like that around our neck of the woods. Labour leader Keir Starmer accused the Tories of turning Britain back into the sick man of Europe. However, Mr Starmer is wrong. Obviously, the sick man of Europe is Jimmy Carr. Now, news from outer space. NASA has revealed a new spacesuit for women who are on the Artemis moon landing. The spacesuit has a lot more space in all the right places, apparently. And now royalty. Tiger King star Joe Exotic announced his bid to run for the US president from prison. We at TWTWTW would like to warn Joe about the dangers of grabbing any big pussies, however. The debate about Gary Lineker reached fever pitch this week. Stick to football, Gary, they said. Lineker should keep his nose out as he joined a celebrity call for a blanket ban on importing big game hunting trophies. I shouldn't worry, Gary. England haven't imported any sort of trophy, have they, since 1966. And now for royalty of a different kind. Charles has a trick up his sleeve to stop Sussex titles being handed from Harry to Archie, said the Evil Express this week. It's a trick comprising one king, two queens, two dukes and a knave. Prince Andrew. That perennial chancer, Jeremy Clarkson, found a new way to get around council rules. Diddley Scott unveiled a new beer trailer to serve the Star's Hawkstone Lager as its planning row rumbled on. So now we all know what they mean by trailer trash, don't we? Mail reported about a Korean restaurant accused of leaving a dead rat in a couple's delivery food. But they hit back with security footage of the meal being made and revealed the pair have complained about a bug in the meal 6 years ago. However, in Broken Britain, if you're looking for a recipe this week, try the rat and turnip surprise soup. Lovely. You can't keep a good Tory down, can you? Move the jobless to the countryside to help pick crops, said one Tory peer, as a farmers' union boss said they would absolutely support the proposal. But therein lies a warning. The National Front will soon have you in chains picking cotton if you're not careful. Even Vladimir Putin weighed in on the subject of turnips. "Come to Russia for turnips," he said, as he mocks the Western vegetable shortage in a video. Or, put another way, Vladimir Blackadder said, "Come on over, you pathetic British baldricks. We have lots of nice, lovely, juicy turnips for you." What about football this week? Gareth Southgate confirmed the England squad, with Ivan Toney and Kyle Walker included, believe it or not. Earlier in the week, Kyle was caught flashing in a bar, which concerns us here at TWTWTW. With Kyle Walker in the team, won't that leave England a bit exposed on the right flank? Boris Johnson was hovering in the wings this week. Apparently, Ukrainians have a special place in their hearts for Boris. Boris was re-selected for his constituency, so while he's Boris Johnson Yuk in the Ukraine, he's simply Yuck in the UK. There was a surprise visitor to a UK football. Kim Kardashian showed up at an Arsenal game in North London. Arsenal, well, she is all arse, after all. However, what was Britain's sex addict doing this week? My heart was racing. I had a full-on panic attack after a bonkers part rule left me feeling helpless, said Eureka Johnson. What was that all about? Well, it looks like Eureka has been prevented from dogging again. The Express reported about a lady who said, "My flat was invaded by bats and now my landlord is kicking me out." What do you expect, madam, when your landlord is called Baron von Dracula? The royal family were in and out of the news this week. King Charles ordered the troops to be quieter during the changing of the guard. However, in response, the troops said, would Camilla and Prince Charles not make so many panting and screaming noises in their bedroom when they were on parade, as it put them off. Was the week that was over in America, where the New York Times said, with a pocket of shamrocks, Biden celebrates St. Patrick's Day. However, we would be interested to know whether the pocket full of shamrocks were in his lucky underpants. This week, Metro News gave us the definitive ranking of shower and bath snacks, inspired by Margot Robbie. Yes, indeed, I like bath buns, bath olivers, but most of all, I like bath sponges. Mail Online said Kyle Walker will not face criminal charges after the Manchester City star allegedly flashed at women in a Wilmslow bar. But the England footballer has been punished with an out-of-court disposal. So it appears the incident was nothing, just a flash in the pan. However, later in the match, Carl flashed down the right wing and had to be dragged off by police. One of the major news stories this week was that the government will send alerts to all UK mobiles to warn the public of disasters and terrorist attacks. Alerts such as Stanley Johnson has been seen talking to your wife, and Neil Parish has bought a new tractor. A strange news story appeared in the Express this week, where ex-jailbird Boris Becker said he made a convicted murderer kiss his hand after an explosive prison altercation, thereby proving that Boris is either the first German Pope or the head of the mafia in the UK. David Attenborough has been unleashed on the British countryside like a new pesticide or herbicide. He apparently captured footage of slugs hanging off branches in order to mate, which is about as racy as it's going to get, as poor old David Attenborough doesn't move as fast as he used to. Amazing news this week. Scientists have reportedly developed a vegan 3D printed nose made of artificial cartilage from pumped softwood and face cream ingredients. Unfortunately, vegans find these noses taste so good they are eating them. Whilst Sharon Stone claimed she had lost half of her reported £50 million fortune in the recent financial crisis, which saw the collapse of the Silicon Valley Bank. We await the film of this event with great interest. It will be starring Sharon Stone, of course. And finally, the big news story of the week was that Rishi Sunak was spoken to by the police after breaking rules while walking his dog in the London park, which makes you wonder how a man who can't walk his own dog on a lead was promoted to lead the country up the garden path.
Mary Mac, dressed in black, silver buttons all down her back. Hello, tipsy toe. She broke a needle and she can't sew. Walking the dog. Guess a walking bird dog. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog. Come on now, come on, come on. That's my mama for 15 cents. See the elephant jump the fence. He jumped so high, he touched the sky. Never got back till the 4th of July. Walking the dog, just a walking the dog. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog. Come on now, come on, come on. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. Tell me, how does your garden grow? You got silver bells and you got cockle shells. Pretty maids all in a row, walking the dog, just a walking the dog. If you don't know how to do it, show you how to walk the dog. Come on now, come on, come on. Oh, oh, just a walking, just a walking. Just a walking. Oh yeah. If you don't know how to do it, I'll show you how to walk the dog. Oh. Just a walking. Just a walking.
Well, this has been David Frost on That Was the Week That Was. So goodbye, good evening, and see you next week.
That was the week that was. It's over, let it go. 52 times a year. The week is done and over with before you know.